Here, pig. How you doing? Here they come. Oh man, I'll eat that for me dinner. Here, pig. Come on. Nice bread. Feed me great. Have a word. Have a go on these. Oh, yeah, snap them up. Look at this bread. Snaffle. So I'm on my way to see the piggies. Obviously, winding through the countryside, you get a lot of, especially round here, random apple trees on the side of the road, or the odd abandoned orchard. I know it sounds mad, but there is quite a few round here that just are left. Obviously the trees are all raggedy, but they still fruit, so I'm looking to pick up some windfalls, obviously acorns, all these lovely oak trees we're going under now, and I'm just going to pick up a few bits and bobs just as like a little treat, you know, like you buy sweets for your kid after school. So let's see what we can find. Now I know there's an apple tree down here on the left hand side somewhere. I mean, another mile down the road it's proper apple growing country for Bulmer's cider. Where's that old apple tree? I mean, there's nothing worse than seeing apples trud into the dirt or being run over by cars when those 6 little piggies will go mad for it, because you know apples is crack to pigs. There you go, look, can you see it on the left? Right, it's going to park up, see what we got. You can see just one random apple tree, look, and down there, look at that, free pig fodder. Pig crack, man. So there's not much better you can give a pig than apples and acorns. And when they're free, it's a win-win. Look at that. Oh, you bastard. So this is one of my favourite places in the country, down this lane. We are now flanked left and right by orchards, growing apples for Bulmer's cider. It's just a beautiful place. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm an old hippie, but there's just something cool about the orchard. Obviously I'd never take from these orchards, but what I'd give to turn the pigs out for a couple of weeks. Let me show you what I mean. It's just a dreamy place. That red against that sky, stunning. So we've even got hops growing wild in the hedgerows. Just look at those beautiful hops on that hop vine there, just in the hedge. It's a brewer's dream, man. Pig, look what we got for you.
Get one of them pigs.
They're going to love this. Bit of apple, bit of acorn in it.
I love it. I like that black one.
Yeah, and I do. Yeah. He's obviously the stronger one, isn't he?
Yeah, some good length to him.
Yeah.
Ready for Christmas?
Yes. How do you like them apples then? Beautiful piggies. Hello. Yeah, pig. How you doing? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Have a banana. Well, they really are getting big, aren't they?
Yeah, the 5 originals, six originals?
Yeah.
We wormed them the other week. This one?
Yeah.
The whiter ones, the ones I fetched from Barnyard,
Yeah.
right, they're really growing now. I've got them going well now. They're a bit smaller. But I bought them on the Monday night, I went and fetched them. They're fine.
Yeah.
Tuesday, oh, squeal, fight!
Really?
They got them, the older ones got them penned up there, Scott.
Because obviously,
Because obviously, you know.
well, the last time I was here, he was the biggest, weren't he? The one with the black and white one.
But those ones I bought the other week, they've overtook him.
They are.
So he's a good bloke, got good pigs.
Yeah.
So
what's the timeline, do you reckon, then, Em?
I was thinking about this, me and John were getting a bit worried before Christmas. We've got to be careful, but they don't start having a pork for their own butcher shop for Christmas. Because this turkey job is going a bit pear-shaped, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we reckon first week in January.
Okay. Yeah, that's
We're
fine.
busy Lent for dying for Christmas all
Yeah. Yeah.
We could have some pig going missing, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Sod it.
Yeah. Whatever you think.
For bacon, you want a bigger.
I want them big, yeah.
Yeah.
I want a big and a bit of fat on.
Like that one you had last time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally like that.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a smaller ones for the chops anyway, so yeah.
They've really come on though. But like you say, them white ones, they look great, don't they?
They keep pointing me put on them. That's the thing.
Hear me talking, I'm talking to the pigs on camera, alright? Hello. Hello. Looking good. How you doing? Oh, look at them. So the next time I see these, they'll be looking a little different. Come on, pigs. What you saying? What you saying? Hello. See you soon. Looking good. Beautiful. That's a pile of pork. On there. So in a couple of hours then, we've achieved that. I don't know if you can see in there. What's we got? 7 sides hanging up, and the rest, you can see that, I've been trayed in halves. It's a bit dark in there, there's no light. So they're all there. Next, we start turning all these primals into joints, getting the chops done, curing the bacon, getting the sausage trim. Yeah, and the job is a good one. So, another day on the pork. Had a good day yesterday. So all those trays have got half a pig in. So what we got there? 3 pigs worth. 4, 5, 6. So yeah, better get these prepped. Got people coming from. Job, as they say, is a good one. Just have a look at that. So what I've done then for everybody who's bought a side of pork today, what I tend to do is split or break down the sides of pork into their primals. So if you can see in here, they've each got a leg, a whole shoulder, hock, shank off the shoulders, a belly and a loin. And then what I do now is I'll start boning these out, tie the shoulders, tie the legs. When the customer turns up, he or she can tell me how big he wants the joints. Does he want the loin in chops? Want it in joints? Does he want it on and off the bone? Same with the belly. And we go from there. But it's pretty impressive looking pork. Oh man. It's quite dark in here, so it really doesn't do it justice. It's just so beautiful. On the farm, all the pregnant ewes been brought in to the maternity ward. Hello. Look at the size of them. So 11 pigs then, 22 sides of pork. We are left with that. We've got a few leg joints hanging at the back. There's my sausage trim, if you can see in there, but these magnificent sides of pork are something else. Look at them. Now one of those are sold to my mate Steve. The other, I'm just going to butcher now, get it cured. What a wonderful thing to do. I like to call it from cradle to gravy. So let's have a look at this magnificent beastie. Obviously, shoulders, the loin, and there is the legs. So this one then weighs 41 kilos. So what I'm going to do first is break it down into its primals. So I like to go follow the tail up. First vertebrae on the bend, next one to it. Where's my saw? All the way through. Cut him off. Beautiful. Just going to quickly nip that hock off. Put that to the bin. And this gets put to one side. Then we will separate the shoulder from the middle. The middle contains the loin and the belly. So there's a natural dip where the shoulder is here. This would be a picnic ham. So put your knife in all the way to the end. Saw needs a new blade big time. And that separates the loin from the belly. Look at that. Right then, take that kidney off. Just trim that fat off over the fillet. The wind banging the door on this lovely old farm. So spin it round just above the fillet, straight across the ribs. So we have one belly, one beautiful loin. Right, we don't need all this lovely flare fat. It will go into sausages. Some of the best fat on the pig. There's quite a lot on this one. But once you get him started, come on, he'll come off in one piece, he says. Just listen to that. That's beautiful. Trim it up. So this is going for streaky bacon, so I want to square it off there. Fridge is going now. Just so it gives us nice slices of streaky. Take the ribs out. Nice rack of ribs. You could cure these bacon ribs. Absolutely fantastic. You have to excuse the noise. We're on a proper working farm. It's absolutely beautiful. Fridge is going. Wind is blowing the doors. We got 50 pregnant ewes next door. Wonderful. And that, my friends, is ready to cure. Well, over there. Onto the loin. So just take the tail end of that flare fat. Take out the fillet. You can see that. And again, this is for bacon. So I'm just getting my knife, I can lift that up, under the feather bones like that. Those first 5 or 6 vertebrae from the back. And there's a tricky bit. Sheeting out. Sheeting out the rest of the ribs. It's really tricky to do it. the camera angle. Right, again, doesn't make very good slices that end, so I'm going to go about here, get a couple of steaks out of that. But yeah, that's what you want for making your bacon. That can go to the cure. Got this wonderful whole shoulder. Going to take that front hock off, shank, whatever you'd like to call it. Get it over the block just to snap the joint. Then with my saw, get my knife underneath that little set of ribs. And we'll work on this neck end. Now, working with pork like this, a bit fattier, is a whole lot different. Obviously it's not as easy to manoeuvre as the commercial rubbish, but that's why you get a better end product, but it just takes a little bit more time. Gonna have to put a stone by that door. Just trim a bit of that fat and the blood vessel off. So traditionally here that's called the spare rib. That is a hand of pork, but I'm going to cure the spare rib to make that wonderful collar bacon, boiling bacon. So I'm just going to cut it a bit bigger. So instead of going through the shoulder blade, I've left that hand a bit bigger because that is what we need for our sausages. We're going to just quickly nip the blade bone out, the scapula. I don't know if you can see it there, it's just starting to come. So just down each side. And then under the ridge. Bend it, you can see how much pressure it takes to peel this meat back. And across the top edge, either side. And that will come out like that. So that is ready to cure, but I'm just going to take a little bit of this back fat off, which is the finest fat on the porker. Just take a little of that neck end off, where there's a gland in there, as you can see. And then this stuff, well, white gold, pure free range pork back fat. Into my slowly growing curing pile. So with this ham then, simple slash job, get the bone out, get it cut up, ready for sausage making, whichever way you want to do it. Right, onto this beautiful big leg. Start by taking that hock off. One of my favourites cured, that is. Absolutely love it. Begin to trim some of this fat. So we can get to the bone. So the sacrum, pelvic bone, just take that off. Following it, it's quite an odd shaped bone. There it goes. So we got the femur in there, thigh bone connecting to the pelvic. So just the cartilage in that ball and socket there, tip of the knife, get it under, and then just begin to work around this pelvic bone. Across where the tail is and square off the pork. Take that out. Just trim a bit more of that off. Now I'm going to take the top side off as a single muscle roasting joint by just seaming it across top of the silver side. Just take that off. Right across there. Now you could cure that, put some strings around it, roll it, would make a wonderful joint. Stunning. Right, we'll get the femur out. In the bin. Now I want to get some shape to this, so I'm just basically skinning that thick flank, that knuckle, straight across. Oh, the sheepdog's barking. Take a bit of that knuckle off. Take out this fat. And there is the knee joint, kneecap, patella, rock hard. And then we want to have a look at this. Just go across. Now that will fold up into there. Just take any blood vessels off. Score it. Just with the tip of the knife. Don't want to go too deep. some shape. Where's my string? Start to put some strings around that. I don't think you want to stay and watch this. I'll see you shortly. Blink and you'll miss it. So put the final string on. We're just going to square him off. Trim into sausage. Just have a look at that. Isn't that a picture? All we need to do now is cure. So onto the curing then. Whatever piece you're using, I'm going to use this belly. I'm going to weigh it. So that piece of belly weighs 3 kilos. Now I'm using this wonderful Weschenfelder Super Cure, absolutely brilliant. Now you want to use 30 grams of cure for every kilo of meat. So 3 kilos, 30 grams, 30 grams per kilo is 90 grams. Just weigh it out. I always leave a touch over, an extra 5, purely for any that's left on the block. Absolutely great stuff. So get it on. Like I said, you want to use every bit and massage it in. Now you can add brown sugar to this, syrup, herbs, spices. But to be honest, with pork like this, it doesn't need any dressing up. The pork will speak for itself. So just get it in any nooks and crannies. It really is that simple. Takes all the guesswork out. Get a bit of fat off on the ends, on the top. Always amazes me how this stuff penetrates through the skin and that fat. Brilliant. Just a case of massaging it, and then what's left on here, just pick up, and that's why I always have that bit of extra just as a safety net, and that just gets backpacked and put to sleep in the fridge. So we got 2 trays with all our bacon. There's the belly I've just done. That beautiful loin. Going to make some monumental bacon. What I'm going to do is get another tray. I like to keep them in a single layer, and we'll turn these every day for about 7 days. Have a look at it then. But then if you wanted to, you could wash it off and slice it. It will be some of the best bacon you ever had. Leave it for a while longer and it will be the best bacon you ever had. So no pig processing video would be complete without one of the finest things you can make from pig: sausages. So what I've got here then is 7 pounds of pork trim, shoulder, bits of belly. You saw what I trimmed off that carcass. We've got about 30% fat as well. You need that all important fat. So 7 pound of meat. I've got a pound of rusk, as you can see there, and I've got 4 ounces of my seasoning of choice, and then 2 pints of water. There's only one there. We'll add another. But first thing is first, we need to put our trim through the mincer. Okay, you might not want to watch all this. We'll get it through lickety split. Job is a good one. Right, more vintage kit. These lovely old trays are so sought after, and they're worth quite a lot of money. So if you ever see them and you want one, grab them. They are just wonderful for all butchery manufacturing. Gonna put in my meat. Gonna put in 1 pint of water to start with, just to get it all sticky. Beautiful. In with the seasoning. Now this will make a £10 batch. So far of these pigs I've made about 150. So this is just the last few bits. 150 pounds in weight, basically 70 odd kilo. And of course we got the bacon to slice, and that will be it. Done. Right, time for my other pint of water. In we go. Becomes nice and sticky now. That seasoning, that water helps it go all the way through. Smells absolutely wonderful. Next is my pound of rusk. The binder also holds on to all that lovely fat, the flavour. Give that a mix. Make sure it's all nicely incorporated. And what we've got to do then is send this whole mix, which should weigh £10, just over, back through the mincer. So just give it a good old mix, and then when it goes back through the mincer, of course, it'll mix again. So yeah, the smell here is fantastic. It's amazing. Right, through the mincer, load up the hopper with a silent H, hopper. We can start getting it through. Work for me. And what you'll see now is the final sausage meat come out before the last mix. So there's one that's only been through the mincer once, and here's the one that's been through twice. Actually looks like sausage meat now. So yeah, I'll see you shortly in 2 shakes of a pig's tail. Lovely, lovely sausage meat. But we don't stop there. We now have to mix again. Bind that fat to the lean. We want to get it real sticky, so when you lift up a handful, it sticks. That's how you get your texture and your sausage to be consistent, and no crumbling, no dryness. A good mix. The rusk, very important for a proper banger. And just to help it on its way, just a splash of water, and you'll see how it changes. You can get your hand in. Yes, I'm wearing a ring, and no, I don't care. So save your comments, the food Nazis. So, yeah, just spend 5 minutes It is hard work. It's a bit of a ball breaker, but it is one of the most important parts of the process. We're getting there. Look, if I was to hold that in my hand, it sticks. So I'm not holding that at all. It's just gathered. So once we're happy with that, we'll go over to my gorgeous vintage sausage stuffer and pipe these bad boys into cases. So my vintage stuffer is locked and loaded. Now I've got some hogs casings here, which are the thicker ones. So if you're starting out sausage making, these are the best ones. They're very forgiving. But I have noticed there's a couple of holes in these, which is a bit of a ball ache. But the show must go on. So thread them on. Just like that. Put a bit of water in the bottom of your tray just to help slide it. Your cloth, just dry off the skins. There's the end. Now what I need to do is bring the piston in my sausage machine up, and it will start pushing the air out and bringing the sausage meat through, as you can see there. And then the fun begins. I like to hold mine just so it feels the first. Nice and steady. No rush. And sausages magically begin to appear from this beautiful, beautiful bit of kit I bought. It must be, well, 60, 80 years old. Hand cranked, so none of this hydraulic malarkey. And of course, because I'm trying to talk at the same time, it's not coming out as smooth as I want it to, but I don't care. I'm pontificating about my sausage stuffer. There's a hole up there. So yeah, there's another one there. Could be a bit of a pain. It's the last thing you want. So I'm just holding my fingers over the end, just gauging how much is going in here, and I'm hoping I'll get the whole £10, but I know I'm going to have trouble tying some of these because of those holes. Come to the end of the piston. Look at that. Okay then, so this is called a chain of sausages, and we are going to tie it into links. I'm just going through, just checking it. Now I'm really wary of those splits there, which are a nightmare. So like I said, if you're new to this, I wouldn't bother with those. Just take them off and put some clean ones on. Some clean ones, you know what I mean. So here we go. So measure the sausage, how big you want it. I'm going to go like that. Some of you might have seen this before, right on that split there. So I've made 3 sausages. I don't want to hang about because of those splits. It makes it so messy. So I've got to be really gentle here. Yeah, so just pushing the chain through, measuring 2, twisting, and then bringing the end up. Right, again, the split. So I'm hoping I could disguise that in there. It won't affect the sausage, just makes it difficult, because the meat will swell anyway when it cooks, and then the skins will dry around the meat anyway as well. So yeah, no problemo. So yeah, we just go along, and I've had to do this so far about 15 times for this amount. A lot of love and care goes into your saucissons, people. And it's like the worst thing to try and film. Making excuses now. Time for a brew and a fag. Finish that one off. I am actually going to just shorten it. Do it one of them. Monster sausage. Tie it. Trim it. Now you can see where those splits were. The pressure is forcing them out, but most of them are perfect. There's your sausage. How to make sausages from your piggies. Good, isn't it? And that's just, if you've got a mincer, no matter what size mincer you've got, you're always going to end up with some in the barrel. Make a couple of patties. Yeah, Robert's your mother's brother. Right, I'm hanging these up now. So we're back again. Sausages made. Absolutely beautiful. Just look at those. Divvying them out now for the customers. And I ain't even tried one. Okay, if you remember what this looked like then. So after 6 days, it's looking like that. In all those trays there is our bacon, nicely curing away. These are bagged up sausages. I made £140 of sausages. They all sold within like 6 hours. So these are just waiting to be picked up. My favourite time. So 7 days has elapsed. And I'm just getting the bacon out now. Washing it off, ready to go in. But just have a look at that. That piece has got my name on it. But just look at the colour change. What we need to do then is just wash off the excess salt and cure. And leave it to equalise in the fridge for a week or so. But yeah, I cannot wait. So it's bacon slicing day. Just working through the loins. Beautiful back bacon, have a look at that. How good does that look? Fired up the old machine. Beautiful bit of kit. There's all the streaky. You have to excuse me, I'm eating some at the same time. Just have a look at this. Quality of that is absolutely stunning. And again, this back bacon, packing it in pounds, ready to go out to customers. So I bet you're thinking, Scott, what are you going to do next? All those piggies gone. Well, let me show you. We complete the circle between us farmers and butchers, and here we have a lovely sty, being prepared for more piggies coming tomorrow. This is what we do. It doesn't stop. Preparing great quality food. This is Pork Hotel in a lonely pigsty. So within the click of my fingers, we have a fresh delivery of pork. Hello. 5 little porkers. Hello, mate. Hello. Cycle begins again. Who's going to have a banana? Morning, pig-pigs. Wakey, wakey.